Today or all week? You want to
Are we ready?
If you have a highlight from the week, great. But keep it short.
Okay.
Like 20 seconds.
I spent a significant amount of time today playing around with the cloud service and starting to work on like an introduction to the cloud service for students. Just
Cool. The first line of documentation ever.
Bare minimum, like a list of ideas that need to be included in such a thing.
Cool.
And then I played around a bit with some differential equations capabilities, thinking about writing an ODE quick start guide.
Cool. Let's go to Carl Dieter next because he has to leave.
Okay.
So I think that Rob finally was able to help me get some good XML stuff going, and I got some help on some other scripts from some other people. So XMLing my book is well underway, and I think that otherwise there's plenty of things to review after the Sage Days is over, the Sage Notebook and elsewhere. It was a good conference.
So I wrote a bunch of interactives, applets for using Sage in math classes, and I think I'm at 8 now. So that was a very productive week.
Awesome. Let's just stay on this side of the room. And then
Okay.
I can convert the symbolic expressions now into GLSL stuff that I can run on the GPU to fragment shader and draw pictures.
Cool.
Dang.
Are you using Pycodit?
No.
Okay.
Maybe I should.
Go look at it.
Oh, thinking about next steps with the PI group this afternoon. A lot of good talks this morning. A little bit more progress learning XML and making it work. And there was one other thing too, but I'm getting old and forgetting. So, yeah.
I enjoyed the talks this morning and spent the rest of the day getting one of my online class modules completely converted over from static PDFs to some single cell calculations and MathJax. I hope my students appreciate it.
Cool.
Lots of grant administration and workshop organization. I enjoyed meeting all the new people and working with everybody the last few days and all the email leading up to the event. Technical contribution, I started an XML string decorator for the cloud service last night, and I think William just got me over the hump, and I'll get that going when I get home.
Cool.
Enjoyed the talks this morning, and I wrote 2 interactives that I'm going to use with my algebra class next semester.
So finished an interact for lattices that gives the minimal, you can plot the lattice and it gives the minimal, the vectors, some vectors of minimal norm. And made some progress with getting, using ideals in algebraic number fields and getting the corresponding lattice plotted and stuff like that.
Cool.
I polished a little bit more conversion of ASCII to LaTeX in Sage and got another data point for importance of local Sage service. Because of winds and floods in Alberta, the current speed from UW campus to our campus is about 100 kilobits per second, compared to usual, which is I guess just the limit of local network, so it takes me 30 seconds to download a new Sage version usually. Now it takes about an hour. That's it.
Okay, well, I had nice conversations with Steve Singleton about teaching, and I posted the first 1,000 or so lines of code to the Hyperplanes ticket.
Cool.
I did more of the same that I've been doing all week, just kind of coding and working on stuff. But I really enjoyed the talks this morning, and I just especially enjoyed seeing kind of what goes on behind the scenes of Sage, because I've been using it for like a year and a half. And I just think it's really cool.
I've enjoyed today getting several things finally converted over to the new macro for Sage and watching the next people work.
And I worked on a few more code snippets and interacts, and spent a good bit of time struggling with the database at sagemath.org/eval.html and didn't quite get it working, so I In a last-ditch effort, just opted to make a wiki and put what I've been doing at sagewidgets.pvworks.com, and you can get to it there directly.
What, in the back?
I enjoyed the talks this morning and got some good student feedback data from a few of you. So the more I get of that, the happier I am. Did some work with PIs on the next steps.
I finished the real set for the intervals for piecewise function and added a callback for substitute when you're substituting a symbolic expression. So from Python it calls back into Python, so we can change the behavior for the substitution into piecewise function, so that if there are two branches and you substitute something, you don't want to substitute in both branches because one of them might not be defined. One only substitute in the right branch, and then wrote a piecewise functions on top of that, and that's getting along.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, Falcon is finally fixing piecewise. I looked over Falcon's shoulder while he hacked on the piecewise stuff, and that was really tough, what he did. I also polished the dynamic attributes that was necessary for Eviata's hypergeometric functions code. And I should also say that Eviata got the hypergeometric functions that were written by Fredrik Johansson, I think 3 years ago, half working in the proper symbolics framework. Now you can get, if you like sum something and maximize it as a hypergeometric function or integrate per cell, and that all works now.
Cool.
Sitting at the tie joint next to John, he convinced me I should maybe incorporate web work in some of my chemistry problem sets. Also talking with Dave, had some good ideas too, and now able to export fairly reliably from org mode into a single cell server. So one more tool for people that are generating content that way. So.
Yeah, I finished up last night some work on putting in a page that HTML page online that would display several aspects of Sage, including differential equations with Euler's method, and also the mapping diagrams that I've been working on. So, and I spent time on more on mapping diagrams today, putting some bells and whistles on there. Some of them ring, some of them don't. And I put together something that I hadn't been able to do elsewhere, which was to put Euler's method together with the mapping diagrams, so that if you think about differential equations as about motion, you can put the Euler's method together with mapping diagrams and see the, as time goes forward, you can see the arrows go up or down according to the differential equations, instead of having to use a tangent direction field to visualize that. So that was something I hadn't been able to do before.
Cool.
Today I've been testing what I programmed this week, and also I started to use Cloud Sage for developing purpose.
Well, I've been getting a lot of inspiration from the talks that we've been listening to about things that I can use in my classes, and I've also continued translating my Perl scripts into Python. It turns out Python seems to work a lot easier. And so, and learning about Python classes and things like that all seems to be working, so I'm very pleased about that.
Cool.
I've worked on a couple of more worksheets. Apparently ran across an old bug, but got some help, and at least for a workaround for now. And Barry Bailoff wanted me to say, since he had to leave, that he did some tweaking and got a little more polished on his combinatorics and graph theory ref card.
Cool.
I read many tutorials on Sage. I enjoyed talking to people about how they implement Sage in their teaching, so it was really good to see the talks this morning. I also explored a bit more about cloud, and I think overall I'm quite happy with my progress of learning Sage in 3 days.
I made it so that, or I worked on making it so that you can use the question mark or double question mark in the Sage cell to get a help pop-up.
Cool.
Tab completion works great. I just need to commit it at this point.
Okay,
Nice.
I've been mostly working on a book conversion to XML. We also had the PI discussion about next steps.
Which book? Just generic book?
Oh,
conversion?
it's an old book on Euclidean geometry for advanced high school students.
Cool.
So I wrote more problems this afternoon about using the SSH functionality in Weber problems, and just trying to make that more useful and get some examples up so people can see them.
I enjoyed the talks this morning, and I've been helping out a little bit with cleaning things up in the web work and answering questions from various people about web work. I'm also going to be teaching operations research in the fall, and I'm collecting references and so on for simplex method and stuff that I can use Sage on for that course.
We've been having lots of conversations with people from the PIs to WebWork to you to William on design issues, etc.
I had lots of talks with people, and I got Cloud to work with the newest version of CodeMirror, which fixes a number of annoying issues and workarounds. And I also tried out, so Vivek and Jennifer left to the airport, but they were able to make it so that in Cloud.Sage Math, you can take a picture of yourself and have it get sent to the corresponding Python process as a JPEG image or a NumPy image. So it's kind of neat. So you could do a demo for class of SVD where you do an SVD to image compress the class, where you take the picture right in the worksheet.
Nice.
So that's cool. And it uses HTML5 stuff rather than Flash, which is good. Right.